Hi, everybody. My name is Richard.lesperance, and I go by the name of mymenrichard. Welcome to a better lifestyle. Today, we're going to talk about AI. So, it's the big topic of 2023, Chat GPT, and all that. So, I have the pleasure to have, for the second time on my show, Sam Kamani. So I thought I'd bring him back, whatever. And I think I did told him that I was going to bring him back at the right time. So this is the right time. So Sam, tell everybody, welcome back to the show. Tell everybody who you are, a little bit about yourself, and we'll get started.
Good afternoon, my man Richard. It is great to be back on your show. As you said, AI is the topic at the moment, or the topic of 2023 that everyone's talking about. So we'll get into that. But first, a bit about my background, bit about my history and what I've been up to. I've been involved in technology startups or tech startups for the last 18 years. I've built two different startups, first in e-commerce, then in esports. They both got acquired. And after that, I've written books on tech startups, and I speak at events. I've been running podcasts on startups, on Web3, on AI, on those sort of topics. And currently, I have been for the last year and a half, I've been advising three different startups. I've helped them either help them raise money or get traction or achieve product market fit. So for the last quite a few years, I've been meeting founders. I have connected with different VCs or investors, and I've been connecting them. So I feel like now it's probably the right time for me to move in that direction and do it professionally, not just for fun. So my next opportunity most likely will be around, or the next thing I'll do would most likely be around venture capital. So sourcing deals, raising funds, those sort of things. So that's a bit about my background, but I have always been early. I was doing Google AdWords in 2003. I was playing around setting up a mining thing for Bitcoin in 2012. So, and I was like, playing with Web3 games, the early versions of it in 2017. So, I do like being early and seeing what is out there in technology, because it can give you an incredible amount of leverage if you are early in any technology, because you don't have as many competitors. Everyone is interested in it, and if you are the expert in that, then you can control the playing field. So that's why I have been extremely interested in AI and what's going on, as well as I use AI in my day-to-day things. I use AI more than I use Google these days. So it was just natural for me to see what is going on. So feel free to ask me anything about AI or Web3 or blockchain, any questions you might have.
Okay. That's what I wanted to talk to about, because last time we were talking about metaverse, blockchain, and all that. Give us
Yes.
a little bit, give us an update of the situation, because I think right now we're in a crypto, like they say.
Beer market or crypto
Yeah,
winter, or
yeah,
as they say. Yes. So the thing is that there are three things that crypto is used for, predominantly, that I see in the market. One is store of value, that people buy and hold, and that's the things like Bitcoin or Ethereum. And then the other thing is for paying, using stable coins, for paying for microtransactions and things like that. Those things are still being used. There are still massive funds setting up Bitcoin ETFs and things like that. And there are still people deploying capital in that. What has been affected is the middle of the market, which was everyone who was just speculating and gambling on it. So those are the people who have been wiped out, and that is the biggest, and that's the one that makes the biggest noise. So that is the biggest segment that has been affected by this crypto winter. People are still building solutions, and there's still lots happening in the space. just not in that speculative side of the market. And that speculative side of the market always dies, the gambling side of it, whenever there is a crypto winter. But it doesn't affect the other parts of it, the other sides of it. So yeah, that's what's been happening regarding metaverse. I still feel like we are still very, very early. I'm sure you would have been following um, Apple's announcement that they are going to release the Apple sort of like goggles and all that, but they are not even going to be released for developers till middle of next year. And then by the time they come in consumer hands, it might be 2 or 3 years away that it's accepted and it's being used by lots of people, like Apple Watch or earbuds or anything like that. So we are still few years away from metaverse adoption. That's my point of view on that.
Okay. So before we hit the record button, you were talking about the startups that you're working with. Tell us a little bit about what you're doing right now in the AI space with those startups.
Yeah, sure. So one of the startup that I am working with is called Rise Angle, where they're building like an AI generative AI platform where you can go and describe what type of a game you want, and then it will create a game for you. You don't need to learn how to code or anything like that. So that's what they're building, which is a very ambitious project, and they will take some time to get off the ground. So I'm just helping them as an advisor. There is another startup that I am helping in New Zealand. It is called gembot.ai. And what it does is it is a like a trading platform, but you have your portfolio on it. And then you can ask it that, hey, if it was Warren Buffett, how would he allocate my portfolio? Or if it was Peter Schiff or someone else, Charles Schwab, how would they allocate this portfolio of my current portfolio of this side? And then it will tell you what you can do to maximize your returns. So you cannot do this currently by Chat GPT, because Chat GPT doesn't know your personal portfolio. But since you've been trading on that platform, it has your trading history. So it knows what fits best for you. And so that's why it can do this. And that is one of the trend that I have seen more and more. And that is people are integrating AI into their existing software startups. Just like Photoshop has been doing that, you can expand any selection and it will refill the image. So it's a currently you see my background, you just cut my picture here and then let it refill the rest of it, and it will estimate what should be there and it will refill it. So which is an amazing thing, because you can remove people from a photograph that's too crowded, or you can do anything. Manipulation using Photoshop has become 1,000 times easier. You don't need to learn those skills anymore, because the AI does them for you. And just like Photoshop did, everyone who is a tech startup founder is looking at how to integrate AI into their existing app or software.
Okay. What about the other company? You mentioned that I think you mentioned two. You're working with three. What about the other one?
Three. Yes. So they are working on a marketplace for open source developers, and they intend to because a lot of the AI software and Web3 software, it is all open source. So they are building a way to get these software developers who are creating open source software to be paid. So if anyone does use that open source and they need support, they can reach out to them. It's called mintycode.io, and that's a company that I have just started very, very recently. I started helping them and advising them on reaching product market fit, and on helping them with introductions to investors and so on.
Okay. And you mentioned at the beginning that you use AI on your everyday. How do you use it exactly, and which one do you use?
Okay, so I have few different AI things that I use. First one is, of course, Chat GPT. Just a second. I am just looking for the other software that I have been using, because it has quite a hard URL. Yes. So it is called, I don't know how to pronounce this, Aomni, AOMNI. And so I use this in combination with Chat GPT, and just a second. And I also use Midjourney. So I think the easiest way to explain this is by use cases. So say, for example, I want to write a LinkedIn post, and I read an amazing article that was 2 to 5,000 words long, and I want to extract it and write one paragraph long or 5 bullet points summarized from that for a LinkedIn post. So instead of reading it and doing all the things manually, I can copy it and give it to Chat GPT and say, make a LinkedIn post from this, which is easy to understand, and give me in 5 bullet points. So then it will do that, and I can copy and paste it in LinkedIn if I want to do that. This is just an example of how you would use Chat GPT. So it is great for summarizing books, for articles, for writing content, for creating content, if you know what you want to give. But there is a limitation. Chat GPT only has data of up to 2021. It doesn't have last year and a half of data in it yet. It hasn't gone through it and removed anything unpleasant. And so there used to be a way that you used to be able to use Chat GPT using Bing to surf the net. They just disabled yesterday that feature for me for some reason, because I have developer access, and I had access to it, so that I could say that, hey, find me, what does Richard do? Go through the internet, see everything, read everything, and find me what does my man Richard does. And it would come back and will do that for me. It will summarize everything that you do that is out on the internet for me, and it would save me a lot of time. But it disabled that feature recently because they were having some issues with that. So that's why I use Omni, AOMNI. That's the name of the AI software, and that can search the internet and return the same result. So basically, it searches and sends the data to ChatGPT, and then ChatGPT sends it back. So it's just one layer above ChatGPT to make my life easier. Then the other things I do is I use plugins in ChatGPT. So say, for example, I want to search air tickets. So I would use Expedia plugin, and I can talk to it like a travel agent. I would talk to a travel agent. So instead of going to different airline websites or going to Expedia or a website like that, and then searching the destination and destination, travel dates, putting that, now I can talk with ChatGPT and say, ask it to use this plugin and say that, hey, find me air tickets between New Zealand and Dubai in October, when they are find me the cheapest ones, but keep the travel time under 20 hours, keep maximum of one connection, and I'm flexible plus or minus 3 days to make it cheaper. Find me in economy or premium economy, whichever one is the best deal. And I can give like lots of different just in like English language, I can say. And then once it gives me the results, they are so much far superior, the end result, than Google Flights or any other platform is. And then it links straight to the ticket. So I can click on it and get that ticket. And I can say that, hey, this is good, but maybe do plus or minus 5 days and see if I can get better deal on this. And then it will do that. So it is much easier to find and manipulate information using AI, because you're getting AI to do your work. But first, you need to know what to ask for, because if you don't know what to ask for, AI cannot help you with that. The third thing I use is image manipulation or image creation. So yesterday I created like a pitch deck and slides, and I needed a background that was custom. So I went to Midjourney and described what I wanted. So I wanted it for developers, for coders, for open source. I wanted these colors, I wanted this aspect ratio, that means the size of the image, all those things I described. And then I fed that information to Midjourney, which is a AI image creation software, and it created few images. And then I got it to say, okay, this is good, but change this in this image. And I can say it like words, and it would do those things. So it is amazing. I could re-upload that image and say, oh, can you add this and this here? Can you do this? Can you do that? And it's amazing. It's instantly would come create an image and come back, which is very different to Google, where Google is just searching what's existing and giving you something from there. Whereas this AI, whether it's content or images or videos, it's creating something new just for you, which is a whole different ball game. So you don't have to go through hundreds and 10 blue links or multiple pages of Google to find what you're looking for. You get exactly what you want, provided you know how to ask. And that's called prompt engineering. And yeah, so I can tell you a bit more about it if you want to know about prompt engineering.
Yeah, why not?
Sure. So prompt engineering is basically how you define and write a prompt. And there are a few things that you need to do in a prompt. And first is you need to give it a context. So you can ask Chat GPT that act like a lawyer and write this. So then it will act like a lawyer and write this. And then you need, you've given it some sort of context, you need to give it instructions. And so I call it CTI, context, tone, and instructions. So that's what you need to include in every prompt. And context was like, write like a digital marketer, or act as a digital marketer, act as a stand-up comedian, act as a podcaster, whatever. That's the context. Then give the instructions. So say if it's act as a lawyer, and write to, say, the city council that my car was wrongly ticketed and I should not be ticketed and I should be pardoned, and my fine should be taken off because I didn't see a clear sign there that said that no parking or whatever. That sign had some stickers, or that sign was vandalized. So it's not my fault that sign was vandalized and I didn't see it there. So you give it the instructions, what you want it to say, and also say that find any laws or regulations that protect me against such thing. So then it will write like a lawyer that according to the council code or the like what do you call, like a road traffic in rules of section 539, I should not be ticketed, or my charges should be void, or whatever. It will write like a lawyer for you based on the instructions. Then the third thing that I said in CTI is the tone. So do you want it to be aggressive? Do you want it to be assertive? Do you want it to be mild? So give it a tone. Or like, say, if you're a digital marketer, do you want to make it easy to read? Do you want to make it at grade 8 level, grade 5th level? So you give it the tone, the right tone, so it hits the mark and doesn't miss it. Now, this was you doing the prompt engineering. But you can take it one step further and then use AI to even write the prompt for you. and that's why you would use something like a plugin. So just like how you need to describe to Midjourney or Stable Diffusion on how to create an image, you can say to Chat GPT that help me write a prompt for Midjourney where I want, a scenic background for my phone or for my, and then it will write a very long prompt, like a 1 paragraph long prompt that you would not have necessarily written on your own. So it's pretty much using AI on top of AI. So people are now combining and stacking different AI softwares and creating different things, because that's what we humans do. We create things, and and that's how we innovate. So
Okay. Before you were mentioning a plugin for people who don't know, can you explain what is a plugin?
Yeah, so plugin is something that you can add. So just like you add apps, on your phone. Plugin is something you can add on top of Chat GPT software or OpenAI software. So you log into OpenAI, and then once you have a paid account, you can start adding plugins. So Expedia is for air tickets as a plugin. There's hundreds of plugins available, and then you can add a plugin and then do that particular job. So it's pretty much just like app for your phone or a software for your computer. It is just a plugin is for Chat GPT. So think of Chat GPT as like an operating system or a platform, and you can add different plugins to it.
Okay. There are, because I have on my phone sometimes when I'm searching, well, not when I'm searching, sometimes it just comes up. There's so many like AI websites now. From you could do your own avatar, your voice is speaking. You
So
could
many, so many. There's always been so many. It's just that now they're advertising and becoming more aggressive at promoting themselves.
Okay. And there's one I think like you could create your own video, like the AI does the video for you. So how far do you think it's gonna go, that AI thing?
Um, AI thing. I think we are just on the start. I think we've just started. It's like, I still feel like we are in the dumb phone era when the phones were just used for making phone calls. We are still that early in the whole AI thing. We have a long way to go. Even the plugins, OpenAI is trying to experiment with that, but they haven't hit the mark. So they might even take them off their platform because not many people are using it. They don't know how to use it. It's still a bit complex to use it. So I think we are still in very, very early days of this whole AI thing.
Okay. And which companies should we look for in that industry right now?
I mean, of course, the like AI is data in and data out. So whoever controls the data, because that's how you train AI from existing data. That's how it knows what to answer based on reading existing data. So whoever controls data, we should be looking at those companies. But whenever there is new technology, new companies will be born. So the companies that will be born is probably will be born by the people who are listening to this. So we still haven't seen those yet. OpenAI is definitely a clear winner right now because they've been working on it for the last 7 years, 8 years. Who have made Chat GPT. They are a very big winner, and any company whose hardware is used to run these AI software. So, for example, Nvidia. I don't know if you've heard there. So that's the part of the reason why their stock have gone so much higher, because all these AI softwares use their processors or GPUs to process a large amount of data. And some of these processors cost $10,000, and OpenAI type companies use over 10 to 20,000 of these processors. It's just like ByteDance, that company that owns TikTok, just bought $1 billion worth of processors from Nvidia. So a lot of companies are going to be buying these processors to run their own models and AI software.
So, how do you make money with AI? I see a lot of stuff online. Are there business opportunities with AI?
Lots. Like, the thing is, what you would use AI is to increase your productivity, increase your output. So in your case, you would use it to create more courses and sell more courses. You'd use it to create ads for social media. You would use it to create content. So you can do the work of 5 people now instead of one person. So you just increase productivity, and that's how you build wealth, is by getting leverage, and tech just gives you leverage. So it's just like previously you had to go to the corner of the street and shout and sell or hand out pamphlets, but now with digital ads you can reach 1 million people in one very quickly. So the same thing, AI does the same thing what internet did. It gives you more productivity. It gives you the ability to create more, generate more, and reach more people. So yeah, so opportunity is everywhere. It just depends on what niche you are in and what you want to do.
So, speaking of niche, you were talking about creating courses. Like, let's say other
Yes.
niche, uh, I don't know, maybe a graphic designer. You have that, but you have the on the flip side, you have people that are afraid that they're gonna lose their job too at the same time. So, what do you have to
Oh,
say?
it is going to happen. It is invariably going to happen. Just like in 1820, over half of United States, of the, I don't know, 20-30 million people that, or like in 1850 or something, 20-30 million people that lived in US, over half of them were involved in agriculture. In fact, in the past, everyone was involved in sustenance farming and did technology like tractors and irrigation systems and fertilizers. Did they um, produce more for us at a relatively a lot more ease? Did they increase the productivity? Yes, they did. So now in US, which has to feed over 330 million people, only 2% of its population is involved in farming. So did it take those farming jobs? Yes, it did take those farming jobs. Otherwise, most of us, including you and I, we all will be doing farming right now. So yes, they did take those jobs. But at the same time, new jobs were created because of that. So every time a new technology has come, it has only created more jobs than it has taken over time. So the same thing is going to happen. The same, just like how automation in factories and automation in farming took the jobs away, but we moved to service based, then we moved to knowledge based, and then we will move to the next thing, which would be, I don't know, human based, because those soft skills will be even more valuable. So we just find more things to do, and that's why there is record low unemployment across all the developed world. Even in US, it has very few times had this low unemployment. So yeah, I do think that we will need a lot more people and there will be a lot more jobs.
So, what do you have to say for since AI is the top thing right now? What do you have to say, like in terms of knowledge or training as a professional? What would you say like they have to focus on, whatever which niche they are?
I'm not sure if I understand your question. Like,
I'm saying like someone who has not touched it, because I asked someone that he was in the sales industry and he was seeing how he could apply it in the sales industry.
oh, that's a very good example. So that I can tell. So what do salespeople do? So you have to break down your role. What do you do on a day-to-day basis? So you reach out to people. Okay, so you reach out to people from either a cold sales outreach or a warm leads that have been passed down to you. So often when a sales lead comes in a corporate or enterprise or a company, the sales lead is associated with data, that this is the person, like you are going to contact Tony Smith, and Tony Smith is working in XYZ company. This is his income. This is what their tasks are. This is what you're going to sell. If it's a warm lead, if it's a cold lead, you have to go and look for it. So in both cases, you would use AI to see, to go through all the data and see that, okay, so I've got 5,000 leads that I need to reach out to in the next 6 months, who have been the most promising or the highest converting from the previous data. Train the AI on that, and then it will tell you, okay, these 50 people are the most likely to convert. So then you know where to focus your attention. Then you would get it to write the script, that write me a pitch or a script. So act as a salesman. So once again, you would use the same prompt engineering that I taught you earlier, which was CTI: give it the context, act as a salesman, give it the tone, write in an assertive tone or write in a convincing tone, and then give it instructions. Sell this software which can do X, Y, and Z, and why it can make their life easier. And then use that script to write an email, use that to make posts on LinkedIn, to do outreach through messages, through whatever you need it to. And so you can do a lot more. So instead of all the things that you were doing manually as a salesperson and reaching 5 people, now you can reach 50 people so in a day. So that's just an example of how you would use it. Just break down your day, see what you are doing, all the things, whatever you can automate, use AI to automate, or use AI to do as much of it as you can.
Where can people learn more about AI?
You can go to Chat GPT and ask it.
Uh,
Yeah, so that's your first task. Go to it, go to Google, go to search, like where to, what, like, just break down your day to day, break down your day, what are you doing in a day, and see what are the things you can automate, and ask it. Ask AI, how do I automate this task? Where do I go and learn about it?
Okay. Final words in regards to everything we talked about.
No, you just have to give it a try. I mean, what's the worst that will happen? It's not gonna. Yeah, it at the most, at the best case scenario, it will increase your productivity. The worst case scenario, you waste 10 or 15 minutes of your time learning something new. So most people are resistant to change because I don't know, for whatever reason, people don't like change, because change needs learning and changing your existing human behavior. So change is hard. But regardless, the world changes. Regardless, time moves on. You cannot stop it. So whether you adapt or not, the world is going to change. Whether people wanted to adapt farming or not, the world changed, and it changed for good. And that's how we can feed 7-8 billion people. Compared to like few 100 million back in the days, because we needed those to sustain such a large population.
Where can people find you on social media or the internet?
So just search my name, Sam Kamani, on any audio platform, or on LinkedIn or Twitter, and you'll find me.
And can you mention the name of your podcast to the audience?
Yeah, sure. So I have 2 podcasts. One is called Web3 with Sam Kamani, and the other one is disruptia.news. So is DISRUPTIA, disruptia.news. So which is on all the things happening in the world of AI.
And okay, that's what I was gonna ask. Okay, so that's
Yes.
Disruptia.
Yeah, disruptia.news.
Okay.
So that's the website address. So www.disruptia.news.
Okay, and so you just started that podcast not too long ago.
Yes, I just started that, and I often try to make it a bit more fun or educational. So that's what I've been doing.
Okay. Thanks, Sam, for being here. Like I said, I wanted to bring you back, and it was a good opportunity when you sent me the email. So when we reconnect, I said, let me ask him if he's comfortable with AI, and you said yes. So thanks a lot for that. Like I said, it's an episode that I wanted to do from the beginning of the year, but I was just trying to find the right person to get, and I'm very glad that it was you, because we have worked together before. So I kind of know your vibe and everything. So it's very good. Thanks for all the information and the insights. I hope everybody learned. I hope everybody learned something and they could apply it in their everyday life. So thank you everybody for taking the time to listen to the podcast. Welcome to A Better Lifestyle. My name is Richard.lesperance. I was with Sam Kamani. Where you're listening to the podcast or you're watching it, make sure to follow and subscribe. And if you could also give a review, if you're listening on Apple Podcasts or on Spotify, give it a star review. It would mean a lot because it helps for people to find the podcast. So on that note, thank you everybody, and we'll see you on the next episode. Bye.
Thank you, my man, Richard. Thank you. Bye.
No problem. Always a pleasure.